Part 403. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4021. It's rare. Even you know the righteousness of the Protoss. If you put it that way, it's basically fine. I can understand. This matter, we should be stable, or we must be stable. The rest are minor issues. Forget it, just bear with it. Snort. It's fine if Talha succeeds in helping me obtain the divine ladder and divine essence this time. If it fails. Gushaz's eyes flickered with a hint of hostility, and he was already ready to kill. Fortunately, there is still hope. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, wiped the cold sweat from his forehead, and couldn't help but rejoice from the sidelines. I almost thought that all hope was over. Then this tossing really means nothing. Luckily it's not there yet. At least all aspects of this have been grasped. As long as it is not completely over, there is still hope, and dreams can still be said. Hateful. Obviously I am the child of destiny. I also realized the first Buddha monument. Why can't I go up no matter how hard I try? At the moment, I can only live in the third place on the list of the God of the Buddha, and I can't make it up. The gap with the top two is still so big. Damn it! Isn't this embarrassing me? Bastard! Damn it! Damn it! The posture of gnashing teeth was fully displayed, thinking to himself at this moment, his complexion became bit by bit resentful. If you feel so deeply, let alone tell it to someone. The more I think about it, the more uncomfortable I feel in my heart. Wang Tu looked at the list of Buddha God stels, and the more he looked at it, the more angry he became. The first place, Talha, there are 99 monuments of enlightenment. Second place, Tiank, there are 72 monuments to comprehend enlightenment. The third place, Wang Tu, who comprehended 31 stels. Fourth place, Motion, there are 25 monuments to comprehend human beings. Fifth place, Yuan Juxiang, 21 monuments of enlightenment. Sixth place, Kilshura, comprehend 19 human monuments. Facts have proved that people with high cultivation bases have a relatively higher comprehension ability. As it is now, many of the people who rank in front of the list of Buddha God monuments are top-notch demigods. It's just that these supreme demigods are now suppressed by Talha and the basaltic behemoth Tiank, which seems to have a dramatic effect. In the past, many people were still working hard to comprehend the Buddha monument, but now many people have simply chosen to give up. Not all hard work pays off. This gap is too big. Who can withstand endless hardships but no gains in the end? Gradually, it is natural to give up on yourself. Even if you are at the top of the Buddha ladder list, you may not be able to get rewards, because others can surpass you at any time. You need to keep working hard to comprehend the Buddha monument, constantly racking your brains, and constantly digging your own potential, until in the end, the whole person is going to be bald. At that time, you may have a little hope. Who can hold on to this? In the end, it's just cold and thin, and it's nothing. No point at all. Sand sculpture consciousness is constantly gathering. Hey! Isn't it good to watch others work hard? How fragrant! Seeing them chasing after me, I stand still. It's not a loss for us, we can still watch a show. How exciting! Brothers, don't comprehend, it's boring. Bai Piao was still inspiring. He himself is too lazy to comprehend, so he wants to mess with others and not to comprehend. Those who are close to Zhu are red, those who are close to ink are black. There are really many practitioners who were directly led into the water by him. It can only be said that it is harmful. Even if it is impossible to comprehend these 100 monuments at one time, and it is impossible to obtain any rewards such as divine ladders and divine blessings, but every time one comprehends a divine monument, there will be some new insights. These insights will still be a good experience for practitioners. It is good for them, and it is not a small benefit. I just gave up, just watched the show here, and all these experiences are gone. Fang Fan couldn't help but said a few words to Bai Biao to tell him not to go out and mislead his children. Boy Fang Fan, I'm doing this for you. Why? Why aren't you very enthusiastic, kid? I've fed my whole heart to the dog. Fang Fan boy, you let me down so much. How can you say that about me? Fang Fan boy, I am also clearing the opponents in advance for you. If they all lose their confidence and don't try to comprehend, then there won't be any comprehension geniuses, and then your big tortoise battle pet will be able to successfully win the leader. Speaking of which, Fang Fan, you have to make that big turtle work harder. Stop paddling here. If you continue paddling like this, there will be big problems. Boy Fang Fan, look at that Talha of the Protoss, he has comprehended the 99 Buddha styles. Bai Biao walked back and forth in front of Fang Fan's eyes, and couldn't help sighing while talking. The more he talked, the more excited he became, and the more he talked, the more solemn his expression became. Gradually, it seems to be the same as the real thing. Fang Fan rubbed his slightly swollen head, and couldn't help sighing. What's all this? Fluttering is still addictive, isn't it? Going back and forth, I don't know what it means. Fang Fan curled his lips, too lazy to say anything now. Now Fang Fan has successfully comprehended the 8th Buddha monument. But the subsequent comprehension is indeed very difficult. As far as Fang Fan was concerned, he did not expect that he would be able to win the top spot on the Buddha monument list. Now the mind is relaxed. This kind of thing cannot be forced. Brother Fan. It's so noisy. Xiao Xiao woke up in Fang Fan's arms, and then her face was slightly flushed, and then she rubbed her flushed face against Fang Fan's body, looking very dependent. While talking softly at the moment, he pouted and complained. Bai Biao was too noisy just now, and woke Xiao Xiao who was sleeping soundly. Xiao Xiao, sleep well, don't disturb you. Good. Fang Fan smiled slightly, and then stretched out his hand to touch Xiaoxiu's head, with a doting look on his face, his eyes flickering, and everything was said in silence. What should be grasped is still to be grasped. In my heart, I naturally have some different feelings. These seem very real. Feel silently, everything will be there. Thoughts drifted away, everything was silent. Basically no problem. The rhythm is stable, everything is as stable as Mount Tai. This steel is so familiar. Brother Fan, are you talking about this steel? What are they doing in front of these stels? Really weird. Xiao Xiao sticks her head out of Fang Fan's arms, sticks out her lovely tongue, she has regained her energy at this moment, and can't fall asleep. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4022. These are the human monuments of the Buddha monument. They are all comprehending, and the more they comprehend, the more they will be able to be listed on the list of Buddha God tablets. Whoever can comprehend all 100 monuments at one time will be able to get some special rewards. These people are all for these rewards. Fang Fan looked at Xiao Xiao who was as cute as a porcelain doll, and couldn't help rubbing his forehead against Xiaoxiu's Kaiang nose. Soft. Very close. Don't want. Brother Fan is bad. Xiao Xiao groaned and couldn't help beating Fang Fan's arms with her small powder fist. Everyone around has already seen it. Fang Fan and Xiao Xiao have a close relationship. Fang Fan dotes on Xiao Xiao very much, and Xiao Xiao is very dependent on Fang Fan. Everyone can see it, and feel that the atmosphere is quite warm. In the beginning, Chu Sisi might still be jealous, but now, What she sees is an innocent Xiao Xiao, so naturally she won't have any messy thoughts. Then Brother Fan is also comprehending these stells. Brother Fan also wants to get rewards. Xiao Xiao blinked, tilted her head and asked. For it. If you can get it, it will be the best. Of course, this kind of thing can't be forced. It does not matter. I don't want that much either. Fang Fan shrugged, and then couldn't help stretching out his hand to pinch Xiaoxio's soft face. People outside are too complicated, and Xiao Xiao can feel the long-lost original intention. This is why Fang Fan likes to play with Xiao Xiao. When she was with Xiao Xiao, at least she didn't need to think about so many intrigues. The whole person seemed particularly peaceful. Then Xiao Xiao, just help Brother Fan get it. Xiao Xiao arched in Fang Fan's arms, and then a confident smile appeared on her flushed cheeks. Fang Fan was stunned for a moment. Xiao Xiao had already fallen from his arms before he could react. Immediately afterwards, he patted the first steel with his slender hands. Swish! The steel is golden. Indeed, I was not mistaken, it was the steel shining golden light, not Xiao Xiao shining golden light. When everyone was comprehending the Buddha monument before, they all radiated golden light by themselves, indicating that the comprehension was successful. But when it came to Xiaoxio's place, the Buddha monument actually took her own light. Fang Fan was dumbfounded. He was a little unsure if what he saw was real or fake. If it is true, this is not too cool. Fang Fan took a deep breath, his eyes flickered, and he fell into bouts of ignorance. He had never seen this situation before. So for a while, I really didn't react. It felt very surprised. Brother Fan. Come here. Let's go together. Xiao Xiao turned back, and then dragged Fang Fan back and forth among the Buddha monument. Every time Xiao Xiao walked in front of a Buddhist monument, that monument would light up. For a moment, the entire 7th floor of the Buddha palace shone with golden light. The scene was inexplicably weird. First, second, third. More and more monuments of the Buddha began to light up with golden light. At the same time, the rankings on the Buddha monument list are also being adjusted rapidly. List of Buddha God tablets. The first place, Talha, there are 99 monuments of enlightenment. Second place, Tiank, there are 72 monuments to comprehend enlightenment. Third place, Yun Xiao Xiao, there are 49 monuments of comprehension. Fourth place, Fang Fan, there are 49 monuments to comprehend enlightenment. Fifth place, Wang Tu, who comprehended 31 stells. Sixth place, Motion, there are 25 monuments to comprehend human beings. Seventh place, Yuan Juxiang, 21 monuments of enlightenment. Eighth place, Kilshura, comprehend 19 human monuments. Fang Fan will not be able to fix this. His name was also hung up. What kind of high-end operation is this? Xiao Xiao dragged him through these sacred monuments, and these monuments were shining with golden light. Xiao Xiao succeeded in comprehending, but it made sense, even taking Fang Fan was equivalent to comprehending the monument. Fang Fan's right hand was pulled by Xiao Xiao, and his left hand couldn't help touching his nose. At this moment, his eyes flickered, and his whole body went numb. It just feels, suddenly. This can be regarded as taking advantage of Xiaoxio's strength, even taking him off. The changes in the data on the list of Buddha gods monuments naturally attracted everyone's attention. Moreover, the Buddha monument suddenly began to glow with golden light, and everyone couldn't pay attention even if they wanted to. Anyway, it's subconsciously looking more. What the hell is going on here? Yun Xiao Xiao? Fang Fan? How did they sprint to third and fourth? I know this Fang Fan, people from the light camp are quite strong, but who is this Yun Xiao Xiao? Good guy, fortunately I have chosen to give up a long time ago, otherwise, I will be hit again. Hey. They are all on and off. How do we compare? Although it is said that the rewards will be distributed according to the number of Buddhist statues that comprehend the Buddha, but how should I put it, I feel that this ranking has probably been reserved at the beginning. Now, it's just a formality, what the hell, so we made it look like the real one. It's boring, it's not interesting at all, we're all sand sculptures. Boss Fang Fan is awesome. Heh. Anyway, as long as you don't get ahead of the Protoss. Keep going. The numbers on the list of Buddha God monuments are still changing. Soon, Fang Fan and Yun Xiaoxiao had comprehended 68 divine monuments. And this number is still being refreshed. Not far away, Wang Tu saw that his third place had instantly changed to fifth place, and his face turned gray. Don't play like this. The blow was already big enough. It's all right now, it was directly destroyed by the blow, giving you no hope at all. How do you go on doing this? If it had to be done this way, it would be meaningless, anyway, it would give no hope at all. Numb. Instant numbness. The consciousness of the sand sculpture is about to explode. What happened? Why is it so easy for them to comprehend the sacred monument? I have comprehended the 68 divine monuments. Ah! Isn't this approaching Talha? It's dangerous. What I was worried about finally happened. Talha! Hurry up. I'm about to comprehend the last human monument. Stop the ink. Asshole. What are you waiting for? Ah! Talking to you, didn't you hear me? Are you dumb after all? Or what? I told you so clearly. Someone is chasing up from behind. You keep saying that you want to be the king of the Protoss. You say you want to seek benefits for the Protoss. Are you so depressed now? Talha? The hope of the Protoss rests on you. You must not lose the chain. Talha? Talking to you. You should say it. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4023. Talha, the first-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, couldn't help roaring excitedly. While talking at this moment, the consciousness of the whole person is about to collapse. The more you shout, the more excited you become. Thoughts are in chaos, consciousness is bursting. Right now, it's completely unclear. That's it, don't delay any longer. Something went wrong. Can't see clearly. At this moment, the number of Buddha monuments that Fang Fan and Xiaoxiao have comprehended is still increasing. Following this trend, the mentality really collapsed. The point is, this can't be played anymore. There was a crushing feeling in the depths of the soul, and cold sweat fell from the whole body. The rest of those messy feelings gradually became numb and could not be expressed at all. How embarrassing. Finally, the Protoss has hope. At this time, they must not fall into despair again. Can't. After thinking in place, the sound of breathing gradually became rapid. The first-class god of the Protoss Tianlin city looked at Gu Shao with a sinister face into the distance, his eyes flickered, and he couldn't help but see a trace of killing intent. He felt he had to do something. He even wanted to kill Fang Fan and the little girl who was pulling him by himself, so that all dangers could be locked in the bud. It's just that this is the Pagoda Palace. Someone made a move before, and then he was beaten to death. He was sweating all over his body right now. All kinds of messy thoughts ran wildly in my mind, and the more I thought about it, the eyes and consciousness trembled all over. For a while, I couldn't grasp it at all. The rhythm must be steady. This is the most important thing. The rest are all empty talk, so there is no need to think too much about it for the time being. Hateful. In this Buddha palace, I have limitations. I can't move my hands. As soon as you make a move, you will be caught and you will die. Hold on, you have to hold on. Here, I am the only supreme demigod of the Protoss. If I was bombarded to death by the divine steel that fell from the Buddha palace, what hope and future would the Protoss talk about? At that time, it will definitely be suppressed in an all-round way. Well, I can't be selfish. I can't take care of myself, I also need to consider the overall situation of the Protoss. Yes. Yes. That's right. As for the rest, don't need to think about it for now. Steady, there is a future. Steady, there is hope. The killing of Fang Fan and the little girl can be done by other Protoss warriors. The Protoss can't live without me, but it's not a big problem to lose one or two demigods. Gu Sha, the first-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, blinked his eyes, thinking to himself, and couldn't help licking his lips as his thoughts fluttered. At the moment, I feel some inexplicable excitement. This kind of consciousness is spinning wildly in his mind, and the picture in front of him is changing little by little. Exciting yet realistic. What I want is this feeling. When you feel it, you have everything. Gu Sha looked around the surrounding area. He needs to send out a Protoss general. This person's cultivation base and combat power can't be too bad, and he must ensure that he absolutely obeys his own words. Gu Sha looked at it, and fell in love with Quaid, who was cheering up. As the second-class general of the Protoss Tianlin city, Quaid was a weak demigod before he entered the Relic of the Gods. He has been tossing in the Futu Palace for so long, and now he has been promoted to a strong demigod. The cultivation base of the strong demigod state is there, it is very real and appropriate. Feelings gradually emerged, and consciousness gradually became sober. While thoughts fluttered, the body trembled to the extreme. The tingling feeling is comprehensive and in place, everything is self-evident. General Cade. You are the hero of my Protoss. Gu Sha stepped forward, patted Quaid on the shoulder, and then said solemnly. Quaid, who was walking around anxiously, felt a little guilty when he saw the Lord Gu Sha suddenly pat him on the shoulder, and also showed such an amiable look. Why, it doesn't feel right. This guy's smile looks very weird. Does he have some special thoughts and thoughts? This Master Gu Sha is not a good person. Quaid has grown a little bit of mind now, his body trembled slightly, and then quickly backed up a wave. Thinking about it in my heart, but now I don't dare to run away directly, I still have to try my best to be respectful to this Lord Guka. The official rank crushes people to death. The same is true for the cultivation base. He is already a demigod at the top of the peak now, and his cultivation and realm are all different. From time to time, it is natural to fawn on him. At the very least, don't mess around with this. Master Gu Sha is absurd. I'm still far behind. I am nothing in front of you. How dare I call myself a hero of the Protoss in front of the ancient temple's popularity? If you want to talk about the heroes of the Protoss, I think the popularity of Gusa is a well-deserved hero. Please, Lord Gu Sha, stop laughing at your subordinates. The subordinates are all under the overall leadership of Master Gu Sha, so they can contribute their own strength to the Protoss. Master Gusa is the reborn parents of the subordinates. The popularity of Gusa is the guiding light of the subordinates. It is a great honor for this subordinate to be able to follow Master Gu Sha in this lifetime. There are also skills in flattering. Quaid's way of flattering is very simple, that is, to elevate Gusa by constantly belittling himself. It's as if Gu Sha is a saint, and he, Quaid, is not even a bullshit. The more I talked about it, the more excited I became, and the more I talked, the more surging, all kinds of messy rhythms swept into place. For a moment, it felt relevant and real. Invisibly, there is an extremely strong sense of oppression. At least Gusha felt very comfortable when he heard the words in his ears, and felt a little ecstatic for a while. Hey, if only you could talk like this before, then I might really want to keep you as a talent. It's useless to hold Buddha's feet temporarily. Gusha curled his lips, thinking to himself. Immediately afterwards, Gusha, the first-class god of the Protostian city, looked at Quaid solemnly. I know you are eager to serve the Protoss. So, I specially arranged an excellent opportunity for you. Now it's time for the life and death of the Protoss. God Quaid is needed to sacrifice a Protoss warrior like you. Go. Go and unleash your thunderous flames. Kill that foreign Fang Fan and that little girl. In this way, you will leave your name in history. I can assure you that your name must be on the Protoss stele. You will be remembered forever by the descendants of the Protoss. General Quaid. Please. My ancient temple doesn't ask for help easily, but today it's me who begs you. Gusha speaks confidently and with a clear rhythm. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4024. Listening to what you say is better than reading 10 years of books. For a moment, his brain was exploding crazily. By the way, what is this all about? Why do you feel that you can't understand more and more? This is not right. I can't get in. Quaid, the second-rank god general of the Protostian city, was completely stunned on the spot. For a moment, the corners of his mouth began to twitch wildly, and his teeth were trembling a little bit. Damn it! Damn! Damn! All assholes! Damn thing! This is the legendary dog thing, right? Grass. You are a humming real dog. What the hell, you flattered me for so long just to let labor and management send you to your death. To kill Fang Fan and that little girl? On weekdays, it's fine to launch a wave of attacks, even if it doesn't succeed, it's okay to pretend a little bit. But what is this place? This is where the Buddha monument is displayed. That Fang Fan and that girl named Yun Xiao Xiao are comprehending the Buddha monument. If you shoot, you will die. Fighting is not allowed here. Lessons learned from the past will guide the future. What the hell are you playing with me? Ah! Asshole! Hateful! Son of a bitch! Let's not talk about other things for the time being, just from this perspective, ask yourself. Think about it for yourself, what the hell, is it really suitable? Damn, it's home, okay. In the end, can it still work? If it doesn't work, why don't you just say it straight? It's too bastard. The more I think about it, the more unbearable the feeling in my heart becomes. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't do anything here, Quaid felt that he would have to deal with the bastard Gusha. Quaid didn't speak. He chose to remain silent. Silence is the best lamb. Silence can also represent one's own attitude invisibly. As long as he is not a fool, he should be able to see what attitude he has. Of course, if you insist on pretending to be crazy, there's really nothing you can do about it. General Quaid? What's wrong? Why are you not talking? Isn't this just in line with your wish to serve the Protoss? You only need to kill that Fang Fan and that little girl, and their names will be cleared from the list of the Buddha monument. In this way, the God General Talha of our Protoss will always be able to occupy the top position on the list of the Buddha's Gods tablet. At that time, he will only be able to get the first round once he comprehends the last Buddha's Gods tablet. Reward. At that time, you can get a holy ladder and a divine grace bath. What an exciting time it's going to be. And such a moment, such an opportunity, was created by God Quaid for you. You are the uncrowned hero of our Protoss. Gusha, the first-class god general of the Protostian city, tried to brainwash Quaid. It's just that this kind of tricks that all 3-year-olds know, there is really no need to keep talking. Invisibly, the sense of sand sculpture is too strong. The more I talk, the more excited I get. But the more you experience it, the worse it gets. Nothing. The sense of sand sculpture is still so strong. Het. Master Gukha God General, fighting is not allowed at the Buddha monument. A few brothers from our Protoss made a move before, and they were instantly killed by the inexplicable divine thunder. This subordinate is absolutely loyal to you, and this subordinate wants to continue to serve you. Quaid said with a fake smile. The meaning expressed is very pure, that is, he doesn't want to die, he doesn't want to be some uncrowned hero. Everyone is dead, so what's the use of being a hero? People die. Who else will remember him then? At that time, I'm afraid there will still be many people laughing at his sand sculpture behavior, right? What the ancient temple god said now is a surge of passion, but after the incident, can he still remember who Quaid is? Isn't this just a cannon fodder? Who will remember a cannon fodder? Quaid is not willing to do such a stupid thing. Make a wedding dress for someone else? Not to mention whether he can kill that Fang Fan and that girl named Yun Xiao Xiao in one hit. So what if he could kill with one hit? Everything developed smoothly, bought enough time for Talha, and then he was successfully shortlisted, successfully comprehended the last Buddha monument, and finally took off all the way, taking all the god ladders and even the supreme god liquid and other treasures, got it all. It sounds pretty good, but in reality, what does it have to do with him? Nothing. In the end, it is still interpreting the future of sand sculpture. It's boring, it's really boring. There was only endless gloom in my heart. Tossed to the end, unable to say a word. He doesn't want such a future. Everyone else is dead, no matter how good it is, what does it have to do with him? Quaid now completely showed the attitude of a dead pig not afraid of boiling water. General Cade? You keep saying that you want to serve the gods, and you want to be loyal to the gods. Are you lying? General Cade? This is both your choice and an order. Are you going to disobey the order of the God General? The cold snort swept across, and the murderous intent in Gusha's eyes gradually gathered, and for a while, the space in front of him seemed to be torn apart little by little. The extreme oppressive feeling swept over, making it impossible to resist. For a while, I fell into a wave of panic and couldn't get out of my thoughts. It was painful, and it seemed extremely disturbing. Gusha was very angry, but he still had reason. He didn't dare to make a real move. After all, this place is the Buddha shrine. Master Gusha, I have always respected you, and I am willing to be loyal to you, open up territories for you, and kill those who violate your will. But the premise of all this is that I can live. Master Gusha, you know that you will definitely die if you go here, but you insist on letting me go to die. I am infinitely loyal to you, and what I get in return is to let me die. Why did Master Gusha give me such a great opportunity to serve the Protoss? Isn't Master Gusha using it for himself? The subordinates are humble and dare not rob Master Gusha. Quaid, the second-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, gradually became tougher. After all, this life and death crisis is right in front of you. One thought lives, one thought dies. Who can say it doesn't matter? Gradually, infinite uneasiness welled up in my heart. Gradually, I couldn't even say a word. In the end, I fell into the sinking and couldn't extricate myself. The end of the feast, fully opened. Good. Good. Very good. So, are you determined to fight against this general? Do you know what will happen if you annoy this general? Gusha, the first-class god of the Protoss Tianlin city, squinted his eyes, and his eyes were full of murderous aura. For a moment, there was an extremely strong sense of oppression, as if everything around him was going to be completely wiped clean. Such thoughts gradually became sincere. The end. Death. Quaid shrugged with a calm expression on his face. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4025. General Guka, I am indeed afraid of your revenge. But isn't the worst thing you can do to get revenge on me is to kill me? But at the monument of the Buddha, you must not dare to do anything, and you must have scruples. Then what do I have to fear? It doesn't matter at all, isn't it good? How big is it? Frank and casual. Even if you want to kill me, that's in the future. But if I attack that Fang Fan and that little girl now, I will die immediately. Master Gu Cha, don't you think I'm so stupid? Can't you even think through this matter? Master Gu Cha, you are high above me, I don't want to have a bad relationship with you. I also hope that you don't come to trample on my bottom line. Quaid held his head high, his eyes flickered with a special kind of brilliance when he spoke. The words are displayed in place, and the consciousness gradually becomes clear. Gradually, there are already deeper expressions. Next, basically the idea. Pure, yet vibrating. It makes people feel the endless oppression. Seeing that his oppression method was useless, Gu Sha felt very annoyed, his complexion became gloomy little by little, and the sound of breathing gradually became more rapid. That gloomy mood was about to completely fill him up. Very irritable, very unhappy. It's just that he has to admit that he can't move Quaid at all now. I'll ask you one last time, are you going or not? I can tell you clearly, if you don't go now, maybe I can't kill you now, but after I leave the area of the Buddha monument, I will kill you. When the time comes, you will definitely die. At that time, I will kill you in the name of rebellion. After returning to the Protoss, I will completely exile your family. Just because you are a rebel. Your people will be ashamed of you. Your family will all spurn you. But if you choose to rush out and kill Fang Fan, it will be different. Then you will be the hero of the Protoss, and I will take good care of your family for you. At that time, I will give them all preferential treatment. It's also death, but choosing how to die is also a matter of knowledge. This is also an opportunity for you. You are going to die anyway, don't you want to think about your own fame? Don't you think about your family and clansmen? Gu Sha, the first-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, began to play dirty tricks. Talking about it, it seemed a little unreasonable. This threat is really not strong, but it sounds inexplicably full of sand sculptures. It feels gradually in place. For the rest, there is nothing to say. Gu Sha began to look for Quaid's weakness to attack. Quaid's face couldn't help changing, his eyes trembled, and his hands couldn't help but clenched. Damn ancient temple. Damn thing. Dog calf. It's too dark. Quaid couldn't help but fell into the battle between heaven and man. Gu Sha's words gradually hit his heart, making it difficult for him to make a decision for a while. It must be a lie to say that he has no affection for his family and clansmen. Forget about the clansmen, those bastards have their own ghosts, and they are not good things. But it would be over if his family was targeted by that bastard Gu Sha. He also has a son. Quaid couldn't help but began to grind his teeth. He needs to vent himself in this way. At this moment, the body couldn't help but twitch a little bit. It's painful. There is an invisible sense of despair. Quaid focused his attention on Fang Fan and Yun Xiao Xiao. He is judging whether he has the possibility of surviving if he chooses to attack. After thinking for a while, Quaid shook his head, he couldn't see any hope of being alive. In the future, he predicted, he would die a miserable death. There were no bones left, and they were killed by the thunder of the gods, and they became a piece of powder. He didn't want to die, let alone die so badly. He has to think carefully about it. Such a fate was obviously not what he wanted. It's time to make a decision. Quaid raised his head, clenched his fists, his eyes flickered to the extreme. He took one last look at Gu Sha with a sneer on his face. The frown suddenly loosened. He's stuck in a dead end. The premise he imagined was that Gu Sha could get out alive, and he could also kill City Lord Cassius and become the new City Lord of Tianlin City. Only in this way can Gu Sha attack his family like crazy. But how likely is this? Seeing that Quaid was thinking all the time, sometimes frowning and sometimes relaxing, Gu Sha immediately understood. The guy just needs to have something to fear. At this time, I just need to add more fire. Are you afraid that he won't obey my instructions? Ah! At that time, this guy can only be fully destroyed by himself. Such a future is simply not too comfortable. The more you think about it, the more you feel smug. The hasty will is being drawn in bit by bit. Feel happy for a while. Cool. 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 General Cade, have you thought about it clearly? Don't worry, this God will keep his word. As long as you are willing to make sacrifices for the Protoss, I will definitely treat your family and clan well. As soon as Gu Sha finished speaking, Quaid looked at him with a sarcasm. Roll. Gussa. Do you dare to force labor? What are you? I can assure you that you can't even get out of the Buddha shrine. This Buddha shrine is your place of death. Even if you were lucky enough to escape from the Buddha palace, just relying on your rebellious words, City Lord Cassius will definitely not let you go, and you will definitely die by then. If it were on other floors of the Buddha shrine, I might still be afraid of you and give you some face, but here, what the hell are you? If you have the ability, you kill me. Do you have this ability? Do you have the guts? Waste. Trash is trash. I've seen it through. You're just a piece of crap. That's a high-sounding one. The stomach is full of male thieves and female prostitutes. My brothers from the Protoss. Take a good look at the face of this ancient temple dog. This bastard wants to take the ladder, let me attack those foreigners, and forced me to say, if I don't do this, I will kill my whole family, and my whole family will be slaughtered. Brothers of the Protoss, you must keep your eyes open. There is nothing to say to this kind of person. In the future, you must never follow this kind of rubbish bastard. Quaid, the second-class general of the Protoss Tianlin City, felt very refreshed, very refreshed. Have fun. He felt his limbs trembling crazily. It's so cool. I was originally oppressed to the extreme, but suddenly vented, it was too refreshing. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4026. Feeling the pointers from the surrounding Protoss cultivators, the face of Gu Sha, the first-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin City, had already turned dark. The boat capsized in the gutter. Damn it! Stealing chickens is not enough to lose money. He failed to threaten Quaid, and was exposed by this guy to his dark thoughts. Now those cultivators of the Protoss look at themselves with doubts and even more hatred. Obviously, the ancient temple at this moment is an abomination in the eyes of all the Protoss cultivators. He hasn't taken the position yet, and his reputation is completely rotten. In the future, if he really goes out to compete with Cassius, the Lord of Tianlin City, for the position of Lord of the City, who will help him then? Didn't they just follow and escape one by one? This road was forcibly made by him. At this moment, there is more or less resentment in my heart. The resentment gradually deepened, and Quaid, the first-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin City, immediately looked at the culprit in front of him with angry eyes. Quaid. Hello. You're fine. Het. Het. You completely tore your face away from me, didn't you? You don't save any face, do you? You really want to die? All the humbleness before the co-authorship were all pretended. Well, I understand everything. Wait. Wait for it? It's impossible for today's matter to pass like this. Sooner or later, I will come back with revenge. Quaid, I will fulfill your wish, and I will make your life worse than death. When the time comes, just wait and enjoy the thunderous fire. Gush's teeth rattled as he gritted them. Absolutely in a fit of anger right now. The more he said, the stronger his body trembled, and that kind of crazy will almost swallowed up his whole body. Crazy mixed with a touch of terror. When the will of terror comes, everything in front of you must be wiped clean. Excited hearts, trembling hands, this feeling can only be made clear at the end. Ah! Let's wait until you can get out alive. Gushat, you are also accused of betraying you. You did too much, you know. It's really disgusting. I don't want to talk about the rest of the nonsense. Damn it! What the hell? I'm about to throw up. Trash. I've seen through you a long time ago. Now it's all your fault. If you don't push me to a desperate situation, I can't make such a bad plan. Snort. I only want to live. You want me to die, I'm just treating you as a shame, what's the point? Is there a saying? Do not do to others what you do not want. Look at you, what you are about to look like. The sneer followed, and Quaid, the second-rank god general of the Protostian Lin city, whose IQ is online at the moment, made it clear what he said. After finishing speaking, the whole person became much more refreshed. There is not a huge mountain above the head that has been pressing down like this. The whole person is extremely comfortable. Happy. Subconsciously, I stretched my waist, feeling really good. Protoss civil strife. The Protoss language of the Protoss was not understood by everyone, but there were a few translators broadcasting it live, and everyone could probably hear what these guys were saying. Those who are not of my race must have a different heart. My good fellow, you dare to do something here at the Buddhist monument of the Buddha? What's the matter? You want to exchange one life for another. It's clear that they saw that Fang Fan and that Yun Xiaoxiao were about to rush to the top of the Futu monument, so they panicked and wanted to do something, just something. Too bad. I'm CAO. In a daze, both Boss Fang Fan and Boss Yun Xiaoxiao have comprehended the 90 statues of Buddhas. They headed straight for 100. Awesome class. There is no pause at all. It seems that this time, Boss Fang Fan and Boss Yun Xiaoxiao can pass the level directly. Hey. Although I didn't take off, as long as the group of Protoss don't get the customs clearance reward, at least I can accept it in my heart. Yes, that's it, what the hell, anyway, we are still a family. The God General Talha of the Protoss seems to have gotten up. Is he going to make a final sprint? Oh my god. No. No way. Is this, so exciting? I'm a little speechless. Shut up, it's so exciting. My hands are instantly cold. Grass. Do you see that? The God General Talha of the Protoss seems to be glowing with a little golden light. Damn it. Can't you really let him take off? I can't take this blow. Me too. Who can stand this shit? Get off. Get off. Wouldn't the Protoss want to fight back at the last moment? The game of comprehending the Buddhist monument of the Buddha is actually nothing more than a battle. Because everyone is waiting in full battle, almost treating this thing as a battle situation. Some are happy and some are sad. Gushat, the first-class god general of the Protostian Lin city who was originally in a mess, sees hope again. Talha. I am the number one wise man of the Protoss. Show off. Show off. I'm coming. The last monument. Enlightenment. Enlightenment. Successful enlightenment, we will be far ahead. We will be able to obtain the supreme treasure. Talha. Talha. As long as you can succeed, you can ask me to do anything. Talha. Gusha trembled back and forth excitedly, and his teeth chattered little by little as he spoke. The more I think about it, the more excited I become, and the more I think about it, the more surging my thoughts become. The mentality that was gradually becoming chaotic is bursting into place bit by bit at this moment, and everything is silent. Everything will follow. Immediately, it will show a completely different style. Business as usual. The stabbing is boundless. Excited. It is more than words. It's so cool. Exciting times are in place. The unparalleled lore moment is coming. It's just that the golden light on Talha's body flickered on from time to time, but quickly went out again, and then flickered on again. It looked like he was deliberately torturing people. Anyway, the more I look at it, the more I get a headache, and the more I look at it, the more irritable I become. Just staring blankly like this, and then fell into a state of stupefaction that he couldn't extricate himself from. Gusha has read the list of Buddha god stels countless times. In the column belonging to Talha, the 99 god stels cannot be turned into 100. At the same time, the number of Fangfan and Yunzioxio's Enlightenment 1 Buddha monument is still increasing. 91. 95. 96. 97. It's getting closer. With this glance, the expression on his face changed to the extreme. Talha. You're running out of time. Quick. Someone is catching up. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 4027. Gusha couldn't help but walk to Talha's side, and then yelled loudly, wanting to remind Talha to stop paddling like this. If this shit continues, there will be a big problem. What the hell, can't you really see it at all? If you are not careful, you will be suppressed directly. It's a moment of despair. Talha, who was devoting his mind to comprehend the Buddhist monument of the Buddha, was startled by such a loud cry. His eyes were lost for a moment, and then his teeth were chattering crazily. The whole person fell into a different kind of madness and couldn't extricate himself from it. You. For a moment, the whole body was shaking. Puff. Talha spit out a mouthful of blood, even his eyes were bloodshot, full of resentment, the sense of despair in the depths of his heart frantically condensed. For a moment, he was really about to be dumbfounded. Asshole. Asshole. It's just a little bit worse. Talha stared at Gusha, wishing he could kill him now. This Dogecoin thing. Boom. At the same time, a thunderbolt fell and directly bombarded the ancient temple. Gusha's body trembled, and he was completely stunned. The sense of despair in his heart was still increasing little by little. Don't. Gusha panicked and ran away in a hurry. The sky thunder fell directly, and Gusha gathered all the strength of his whole body to collide with it. Click. There was a crackling sound. Gusha's body cracked little by little. Wisps of blood flowed out crazily, soaking his entire body. The boundless pain came, and it was about to torture him. Idiot. Cough, 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 cough. Call. Am I still alive? I'm not dead yet. It feels so good to be alive, to be alive. I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Just live, just live. The blood and sweat on Gusha's forehead were all mixed together. He was really scared just now, and he was almost crying right now. That taste, that feeling, is completely numb. The consciousness of the sand sculpture continued to condense, and the mournful expression on his face was beyond words. The more I thought about it, the more frightened and confused I felt in my heart. Just a little bit, and he died. Those who disturb the rules of enlightenment of the Buddha monument will be punished for the first time and obliterated for the second time. In the empty space, there was an indifferent warning sound. Gusha's body was completely limp on the ground. How dare you say no at this moment? At this moment, Fang Fan took Xiaoxiu's hand and successfully arrived in front of the 100th monument. The 100th human stele is also shining brightly. At the same time, the data on the Buddha monument changed again. List of Buddha God tablets. First place, Yun Xiaoxiao/Fang Fan, with 100 monuments of comprehension. The second place, Tal Ha, there are 99 monuments to comprehend people. Third place, 72 steles of enlightenment in Tiank. Fourth place, Wang Tu, 39 monuments of enlightenment. Fifth place, Motion, there are 29 monuments to comprehend human beings. Sixth place, Yuan Juxiang, 25 steles of enlightenment. Seventh place, Kilshura, comprehend 23 human monuments. Cleared. All the 100 human steles of the Buddha monument have been enlightened successfully. Who can resist the feeling of hanging up? It's really cool. The whole body is immersed in the refreshing feeling and cannot extricate itself. The 7th floor of the Buddha shrine. All the 100 monuments have been enlightened. Reward the Divine Ladder section. Reward God for a bath. Whoosh. At the same time, a sacred ladder gradually fell from the sky, and it was placed in front of the eyes brightly, inexplicably giving people a sense of surprise in consciousness. The eyeballs were widened, and the sense of hope that originated from the depths of his heart burst out little by little. The stabbing is boundless. Cool batch. Isn't that what you want? For a while, all kinds of vivid consciousness were hard to control. Straight out of the sky. Brother Fan. I hate this light. Xiao Xiao suddenly frowned, and then pointed to the holy light that was gathering in the air. This is the so-called grace bath. When you are bathed in divine grace, your whole person will feel different. It is natural, and the refreshing feeling is also being created little by little. It is more than words. Very intense. It's also very real. Feel silently, experience silently, and all kinds of feelings will naturally follow. As for Xiao Xiao hating this divine grace bath, it was not surprising to Fang Fan. All of this has something to do with Xiaoxiu's physique. Xiao Xiao has the physique of killing gods. So things will look different here. Fang Fan licked his lips, thinking to himself, his thoughts gradually fluttered, and then he covered Xiao Xiao under his body, and then he absorbed all the divine blessings in the bath. To put it bluntly, to bathe with divine grace is to instill pure energy directly into your body. The taste and refreshment can only be known after experiencing it. It is really cool. At the same time, Fang Fan's cultivation base is also skyrocketing. The speed of skyrocketing is also superimposed. From the beginning of the 7-star high-level sanctuary realm, it has crossed to the 7-star peak sanctuary in an instant. This is just the beginning. 8-star initial sanctuary realm. 8-star middle sanctuary realm. 8-star high-level sanctuary realm. 8-star peak sanctuary realm. Until now, the energy bathed by the divine grace has dissipated little by little. It directly increased by 5 levels. Hiss. It's nothing short of a miracle. Fang Fan swallowed a mouthful of saliva, his eyes gradually became cold as he spoke, and his body trembled slightly. If you say that you are not excited at this moment, it must be false. No one can refuse the skyrocketing cultivation base. What a cool word. Fang Fan and Yun Xiaoxiao comprehended the 100th monument at the same time, even if everyone's hope was completely ended. At least for now, they won't be able to get this reward. God ladder. God ladder. Mine. Mine. Wang Tu's eyes turned blood red in an instant, While speaking, his lips couldn't help trembling, and while speaking, he swallowed saliva frantically. Deep in his mind, the excitement was hard to dispel. At the moment, I only know how to stab forward a little bit, the stimulation is boundless. This guy actually wants to snatch the divine ladder in public. If you want to die, go for it. Anyway, it will be Fang Fan who will be happy then. Snort. It just so happens that you can be killed with the help of the supreme divine power of the Buddha shrine, so that he will also kill a top-notch demigod opponent. A cold snort followed, and Mo Tien, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, sarcastically said. This is sarcasm, but also a reminder. If you don't remind me of this wave, this Wang apprentice may really rush over directly. But if he makes any moves, the power of rules inside the Buddha shrine is not a vegetarian, and it will suppress you every minute. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4028. Whirring. Almost forgot this stubble. Sage of the Demon Heaven, thank you very much. Even if I owe you my life. Thank you for saving me. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, took a deep breath, and could not help showing a look of joy on his face at this moment. Almost stumbled. Fortunately, it was stabilized at the last moment. Otherwise, it is a dead end right now. Huh. There is nothing to thank, I am too lazy to save you. If it is not because I have to deal with this situation, I wish I could kill you. Mo Tien, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, snorted coldly and said with an unhappy expression. Although I was extremely upset in my heart, there was nothing I could do in the end, and relatively speaking, I could only stay in such a stalemate. Even if he wanted to punish Fang Fan, he had no chance. Another first-class saint in the Dark Temple, killing Shura, had been watching his movements. Whenever Motion made any moves, this guy was like a piece of dog skin plaster, and swept over in an instant. Sometimes, it really takes the trouble. But in the end, I can only bear it numbly, and then silently experience this extreme feeling of sand sculpture. Anyway, the more I think about it, the more unhappy I get. Until the end, everything followed the full end. When it's cool, let's talk to someone. In the end, that's the only way to go. Holy One, this kid is our common enemy. In the future, we still need to cooperate more. We must not let this kid come out on top. Otherwise, we'll all be in trouble. On the side, Wang Tu couldn't help frowning, not hiding the disgust in his eyes at all. Totally bored at the moment. It's normal to be upset. I would like to cooperate with you. But what can I do with such an oil bottle? I'm also desperate. It would be great if you could help me get rid of this oil bottle. Mo Tien's face darkened, and he looked at Kill Shura with disgust. Everyone is from the Dark Temple, not to mention that you came here to follow my instructions to help me. You can't control me all the time, keep suppressing me. This makes me so embarrassed. His brain was buzzing and trembling, and the feeling of numbness and discomfort had always been so strong. In the end it was impossible to escape. Difficult to go to the blue sky. No point at all. Tug oil bottle. Oh, you said him. This is the first-class saint of your Dark Temple, what can I do? Speaking of it, everything in your Dark Temple is good, but the people's hearts are too inconsistent, and from time to time, you will encounter a few strange things. Wang Tu shook his head, and couldn't help but followed with disdain. How much better do you think your Temple of the Alliance of Light will be? Can't you see for yourself? It's already falling apart. That Fang Fan still belongs to your Temple of Light Alliance. Mo Tien, the first-class saint in the Dark Temple, curled his lips, and then replied from the side. In any case, this mouth must not be forgiving. Otherwise, aren't you slapping your face? How boring is that? The sense of sand sculpture is still so strong. True and clear. The two people who were originally amicable, now started to fight again. Fang Fan and Yun Xiaoxiao were still the core of the audience. At this moment, everyone's attention is basically on the two of them. Good guy, that boss Fang Fan is a little out of character. This, all the divine favors bathing are exclusive to this? Didn't any of it be given to that little girl? This boss Fang Fan's cultivation has skyrocketed, and the 7-star high-level sanctuary realm can skyrocket to the 8-star peak sanctuary realm. Although this level of cultivation is still very low, it is undeniable that he is really awesome. Awesome class. Immediately invincible. It's so exciting. It directly guarantees 5 levels. If you practice by yourself, can't you practice until the year of the monkey? 666. It's too powerful. Hey. It's just that I didn't share a little bit of divine favor with that little girl. This is really too much. SHHH, stop talking nonsense, let people hear it, and kill you in minutes. Big Brother's business. How many times do you dare to talk blindly? Dare not, how dare I have the guts, I'm afraid of death. There were bursts of sighs from around. All kinds of words are gradually in place, and the picture in front of me is also fluttering little by little. Thoughts are in place, everything goes without saying. The feeling is there, the consciousness is clear, and everything is fully inflated and in place. At this moment, everyone from Guangming Academy also came over to congratulate Fang Fan. Good boy, I knew you could do it. Before, I was so courageous that I pulled it up to my throat. Fortunately, I finally stabilized. Otherwise, something will happen. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, took a deep breath, and his eyes flickered as he spoke. Didn't this feeling follow? My apprentice is just amazing, there's nothing I can do about it. The uncle shrugged his shoulders with a proud face. Fang Fan boy, tell me the truth, is it because of Xiao Xiao that he can take off this time? Good guy, you shameless guy, Xiao Xiao took you to take off, and there are benefits, you took it all. It's fine to put away the divine ladder, and all the God-given baths have been greedy. And specially put Xiao Xiao under your body to cover it up. Fang Fan boy, when did you become so wretched? I don't even know you well, kid. Is this really your kid? Bai Biao's eyes widened, and then began to belittle Fang Fan in an all-round way. If it were someone else, Fang Fan might have punched him in the face long ago. This nonsense is not a little bit too much, it is really a lot. To the extreme. But this is Bai Biao, Fang Fan took a look and felt calm. Do you dare to hate Brother Fan? You are a bad person. Xiao Xiao gritted her little tiger teeth, stared at Bai Biao with her eyes wide open, and while talking, a beam of light was released from her eyes. I am Cao. It hurts, it hurts. Bai Biao's abdomen was suddenly burnt with 2 small openings, and the skin looked very scorched black at this moment. You doll, why don't you care about others? I'm fighting for you. Hey. Why can't you see it? Still targeting me like that. You girl doll, you don't have a long heart. You girl doll is really good, you can still hurt me. Bai Biao's broken thoughts began to play. At this moment, Fang Fan's expression froze, and he quickly took Xiao Xiao into his arms, ready to be stuffed into the small world of Shushan Pavilion at any time. Fang Fan looked up at the ceiling with a solemn look on his face. Seeing Fang Fan suddenly so serious, everyone seemed a little stunned. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4029. But soon, everyone realized that something happened. Something big happened. This is the Buddha monument. If you shoot and hurt someone here, you will be sanctioned. In a matter of minutes, the thunder will fall and kill you directly. For a moment, a sense of infinite panic swept over, and the panic deep in my heart was overwhelmed. I didn't ask you to hit me. You are going to hit me. If something happens to you, girl doll, don't blame me. I am innocent. I didn't kill Boran, but Boran died because of me. How did this matter happen? Fang Fan boy, you know justice, you won't blame me. I am too wronged. Oh shit. It's a big deal, let me help this girl to block a wave of thunder bombardment. Grass. Labor and capital have gone all out. Bai Biao gritted her teeth, her eyeballs flickered at this moment, and she already had a certain fighting spirit in her heart. Although he felt that he was wrong too, but this matter is such a thing, this situation is such a situation, even if he wants to shirk it, he can't shirk it in every way. A sense of panic swept through the depths of his heart, and his eyeballs couldn't help trembling slightly. Even the teeth are chattering slightly. Disaster. Difficult to go to the blue sky? After waiting for a long time, there was no movement in the air at all. Not to mention punishing Tianli, there is not even lightning. Just looking at it like this for a while, the whole person fell into a wave of ignorance. He opened his mouth, unable to say anything. Confused thoughts, let alone talk to anyone. What's the situation? This day's thunder will be delayed. Or is it that the rule that fighting at the Buddha monument is not allowed has been revised? This rule doesn't exist anymore. After all, someone has already comprehended all the 100 statues of Buddhas. Perhaps, that's really the case. I wonder if there is any warrior who will try it? Come on. Let me make a little sacrifice, let you hit me. I can also make some sacrifices, you can hit me casually. Who dares to make this first punch? What the hell, it's all too doggy. Suddenly there was a burst of complaints from the surrounding area. The voice became more and more anxious, and there were many people talking about it, but no one dared to be the first vanguard. One by one, it's like something. Those who are timid are obviously scared by education. For a while, my thoughts were still in chaos. It's nothing, just playing around a bit. This feeling slowly followed in place. True and clear. Everyone wants to be the first to eat something. But no one wants to be the first to be sanctioned. Fang Fan put his arms around Xiao Xiao, and gradually let go of his heart. Although he was suspicious, Fang Fan also felt quite relieved that the thunder did not come down this day. In this case, at least Xiao Xiao will have no safety issues. In all aspects, it can still be fully stabilized. That's great. Maybe it's because of Xiaoxiao's special identity and physique. So even this day the thunder is unwilling to land. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and now he could only think like this. Otherwise, it is not clear about the situation and circumstances. At this moment, many cultivators feel that the rule that no attack is allowed at the Buddha monument may have changed. At the moment, there are a lot of strange thoughts in it. All of them stared at Fang Fan's direction, licked their lips, and their breathing gradually became rapid. The eyeballs are widened, and the excitement is superimposed on the whole. While thoughts are flying, everything is silent. Holy One, this is an opportunity. Strike first to be strong, then strike later to suffer. If we don't start now, some accidents may happen. Holy One, what do you think? Is this the truth? Wangtu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, licked his lips, already thinking of attacking. You go first, I'll be there later. Mo Tien nodded, deeply convinced. If you want to attack, attack together, in whatever order. The saint of the demon heaven is not sincere. Wang Tu twitched his lips, and then made complaints from the side. Not much else to say, this wave of rhythm is naturally suppressed. It all looks rougher now. They don't want to be the first to make sacrifices, but they all want to be the first to get benefits. Go out of the sky, probably like this. Real and clear. Warriors of the Protoss. Who of you wants to punch me? Attack. Make some sacrifices first, and experience it. This is about the future of our Protoss. Once I am sure that there is no rule that cannot attack at the Buddha monument, I will directly launch an attack on that Fang Fan. At that time, the Divine Ladder will still belong to our Protoss. After turning the Divine Ladder into a Divine Path, you will all have the opportunity to take off with me. I said so, you should all be clear, right? How is it going? My Protoss athletes. Let's fight. Intense yelling gradually came into place. For a moment, it seemed as if everything around him was about to be smashed to pieces. The first-class God General of the Protoss Tianlin City swept Gush's gaze around the surrounding area, and immediately wanted to pull people into his chariot. It's just that he yelled for so long, and basically no one responded. Among the 200 Protoss cultivators, none of them were willing to stand up. They even showed a disdainful gesture one by one. Gush's self-esteem has been hit to a great extent. Why is my prestige so rubbish? I have already been promoted to the top of the demigod now, why do I feel that my words are so good when I am not strong enough to be a demigod? What the hell, not even one came out to cheer. Even if you just yell a few times, don't let me give a dry speech here. What is it now? Isn't this a joke? Inexplicably, this face felt swollen and swollen. Too difficult. With a dark face at the moment, the sound of breathing gradually gathered in place, and the murderous aura in his eyes frantically gathered, and he was completely speechless for a while. Bastard. They are all bastards. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. The more I think about it, the more unhappy I get. Damn thing. Quaid. Are you willing to risk your life? As long as you are willing to try and prove that the law that does not allow attacks here is invalid, the previous things between you and me will be wiped out. This God will be able to guarantee here that he will never retaliate against you again. From now on, you will still be my confidant. When you create the path to becoming a god, you will definitely be reserved a place to ascend to the realm of the gods. How? When you enter God's domain, you and I will join hands to create brilliance together. The ancient temple began to draw big cakes. In a word, it seems very tempting. It's just that this pancake just smells good, but its essence is not good. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 4030. Ah. If I attack you, and the rule of not being able to attack here has not changed, I will be killed by Shenli. If it is verified that the rules that cannot be attacked here have indeed changed, and you can attack at will, what else can I do based on your resentment towards me? It must be to kill me directly, even if I want to cry there is nowhere to be found. This deal is really well done. Just, am I really that stupid? I don't believe you have any kindness. For you, I have already seen through. You want to lie to me? I'm afraid it's a bit difficult. The sneer gradually came into place, and while talking, he rolled his eyes crazily. Quaid, the second-class god general of the Protoss Tianlin city, stretched his waist, and didn't bother to pay attention to this ancient temple at all. There is nothing in the first place, where does the dust come from? Isn't that great now? Why do you have to fight for your life? He had already thought about it, if this ancient temple really wanted to attack him, he would rebel. Go directly to those foreigners. After all, he is a strong demigod now, so if he goes to seek refuge, Is he afraid that he won't accept him? All aspects of this have long been arranged perfectly. After thinking about the future, there will be no fear. Quaid. Evil creature. You really don't take the saint seriously. I think you really want to die. What will happen to you if you offend this god, don't you know? Damn. Damn. Quaid. You will pay for your words today. Gu Sha was furious with impotence. The yelling at this time can only show the anxiety in his heart. At that moment, I could only roar a few times. As for what to do, there is no such authority at all. In this heart, I feel inexplicably sand sculptured. Invisibly, waves of numbness surged in my mind. In the end, his complexion was as black as the bottom of a pot. No point, really no point. Toss to the end, slowly followed by numbness and heartbreak. Gu Sha stared at Fang Fan in the distance, still feeling very unwilling. Just let Fang Fan go? Can this work? Doesn't this prove his waste? The more I think about it, the more unhappy I get. For a while, even the teeth were about to be crushed. That kind of extremely painful state of mind can't be grasped at all. Hateful. Extremely hateful. The more you think about it, the more anxious you become, the more you think about it, the more indignant you become. At the moment, it is deadlocked. Want to make a difference, but feel like your hands and feet are tied. Grass. Turtle son. Anger surged in my mind, and I was shaking with anger. Protoss, and he is not of one mind. One by one, all are jerks. Damn thing. This wave is completely pissed off. Are you going to do it? If you don't do it, I'm leaving. Fang Fan glanced at the direction of the crowd, and couldn't help curling his lips as he spoke, looking indifferent and casual. From beginning to end, he maintained a nonchalant attitude. With a group of sand sculptures, what is there to care about? What should I do? Isn't that what I should do? If you want to toss, I will accompany you. Arrogance. Fang Fan, brat. Do you think you can fight all of us with your own strength? If you have the ability to fight alone. This saint can kill you 10,000 times with one hand. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, gritted his teeth and roared. Fang Fan. Is this the legendary big sand sculpture? Can you show some face? Is a supreme demigod so shameless? I haven't even entered the saint venerable realm, you want to fight me one-on-one. If you want to win the treasure, hurry up. If you don't dare to fight, get out. I don't have time to spend here with you. Fang Fan curled his lips, then waved his hand, and was about to leave directly. What are you doing with so much nonsense? Do you have to be smart here? Fang Fan has always directly passed this kind of people. You. Arrogance. If this saint doesn't kill you today, you won't be able to go to heaven. Since you insist on seeking death, I will help you. Blade of the sun and moon. A roar came, and the surrounding space trembled. The Buddha monument on the ground trembled a little bit. Zhu Dian's demigod shot, the shock it can cause is still very strong. For a moment, everyone's eyes were focused on this place, and in the depths of their eyes, endless light flickered, and they all seemed very excited. While gnashing his teeth, his consciousness was also surging a little bit. This kind of stimulation is stretching in an all-round way. Seeing that Wang Tu was about to attack, Fang Fan seemed very indifferent from the beginning to the end, as if he didn't take this attack at all. There was even a look of contempt on his face. This touch of contempt stimulated Wang Tu even more, and at this moment his whole body was full of strong combat power. Boom! There was a sudden thunderclap in the air. The audience suddenly became solemn. Wang Tu, who was obsessed with the all-out attack, trembled all over his body, then swallowed his saliva non-stop, then turned his head and ran away. For a moment, he lost his strength, and the spiritual power he released began to backlash wildly, directly bombarding himself. Cough. Cough cough cough. Puff. Wang Tu spat out blood in one gulp, his complexion gradually turned rosy. I don't know if he vomited blood because of the injury, or because he vomited blood due to anger. Anyway, the current state looks really bad. At least this is almost the state of glancing in place on the bright side. Almost fell for you bastard. Snort. You let me attack, but I won't attack. I'm anxious to kill you. Do you really wish I could launch an attack? Do you think I will fulfill your wish? Impossible. Tell you. It's absolutely impossible. I can't just die so easily. In this case, isn't it cheap for you? I have to endure. I have to lurk. When the right time comes, I'll kill you with one blow. I'll see how arrogant you can be then. You are sure to die. The final outcome is to be killed by me. Fang Fan. Just wait. If you are willing to give me all the ladders now, maybe I can spare your dog's life. This saint is also a person who loves talents. At that time, as long as you surrender to me, I will definitely give you a bright future. How? The price offered by the saint is not low. Wang Tu's brain circuit has been going astray. Now talking and talking, I started talking about it again. Fang Fan just looked at him like this, and the sand sculpture feeling became more and more intense one. A good person, why do you like to daydream?